today change everything in the sense that, all summer it's been preparing and now what you see ahead of you is Minnesota?
Yeah, heightened anticipation for sure, but this week we're still focusing on us, hammering down our techniques, fundamentals, really laying that final foundation before week one.
I think we saw 6 inside backers out there today.
Yep.
And you probably have had at least one play with all 5 of the other guys that were with you.
Yep.
I know there's something about familiarity, but how big is it for you to have some continuity here going forward?
It's good. That speaks to the talent in our room. I think, every guy in the room is plug and play, can play Mike or Will and play well for us. So, as we get into season, like you said, continuity is great, communication, hammering that in. So, game day it's seamless, but I feel confident with all the guys.
How is Darius able to handle, like if he's starting week 1 next to you?
Yep.
What can he do? What can he bring to the defense?
He's an old school football player. I think I don't know if you saw it, but you might have heard it. That big hit in the Jets. He ran that running back right over. So he plays physical. He plays fast. He plays the game the right way, and he's smart. So he's a plug and play guy for sure.
Does it put anyone in place if week 1 you have a rookie next to you, a guy preparing for his first debut, rather than somebody maybe with a little bit more experience?
Potentially, just communication. Obviously, it's his first live game, so jitters, excitement there. But there is a such thing as youthful exuberance, so that's what he brings to the table. That excitement, that energy, and he flies around with his hair on fire.
How different does the defense look to you with Brian Burns as part of it right now? Thibodeau's in kind of a different role. It adds, someone that they got a different guy that they have to double for you as a middle linebacker. How different overall are you guys just by adding him?
Yeah, we'll see in game speed. Obviously, we saw in the Texans game, the ball's getting out quick. Quarterback really doesn't have an option, but he just adds extra dynamic of, flexibility, speed, athleticism on the edge that we haven't had.
Do you think it makes a big difference to have like a sort of, lack of a better term, star or edge rusher or all-pro type edge rusher?
When you add it to the group, for sure. Now you can't just double decks and decide to have one-on-ones. You got KT, who finished 11.5 sacks last year. You got Burns, we signed to a big contract. You got Dex, so it's like kind of pick your poison right there.
Since the Jet practice, it seemed Darren Rodgers did very well, and there's been questions about the secondary. Are there questions for you?
No. We have a young group, like I said, but we have a lot of talent. We got a lot of youth, and those guys are growing and maturing real well. Jason Pinnock's doing a great job leading that group. Obviously, Deontay Banks, first-round pick, he's locked down. So those guys are coming along. Extra communication from my end and a great pass rush will help everybody.
Does it put more pressure on the front 7?
It can. As we figure out our game plan, figure out how teams are starting to attack us, we'll figure out our strategy.
Bobby, last year you guys had, I think it was 10 captains, and who got hurt, who had to step up.
Yep.
Dave's told us, and Andrew just said, you guys have 5 this year.
Yep.
Half the amount. Does it add weight to the idea of the captains, knowing that it's not 10 guys, now it's just on the 5 of you guys with the C on your chest?
Yeah, not necessarily. Every year is a different year. Every team's a new team. So I think the best fit for our team this year was the 5 captains. Great guys who have different leadership styles, different experiences and wisdom, and I think we'll do a great job.
Why do you think the best fit is 5 this year compared to 10 last year?
Just obviously, coming off the 2022 season, having established leadership there and having a successful year, then bringing in free agents like me and Waller, it was kind of a room of a lot of leaders, but with departure of some guys, obviously Saquon X aren't here. Just based off everything that's unfolded, it's kind of the right fit.
Is that something Dave's talked about with you guys? And that you maybe gave input on? That maybe it was better to pare the number down to?
No, not necessarily. We all voted as a team today, and I think that's just how the votes came out.
You mentioned about differing personalities. Is that important when you have captains, that not everybody leads the same way, talks the same way?
Not necessarily. You kind of deal with what you have. Like, if we all have the same personality, we can figure it out too. But different leadership styles. Some guys lead by example. Some guys are rah-rah guys. It just adds to the collective.